Hello, algebra students. Let's look at solving more of these multi-step equations, and maybe they got a little more complicated, but the idea is still the same. Putting a line through my equal sign here, I can see that there's nothing to do on the right-hand side, right? Just a number, 11. But on the left-hand side, there sure is some simplifying. Some straightforward math I know how to do. Some symbols I can obey. Right, we see that 7 shoved up against a grouping. That signals that there's some multiplication that I can do. We also see this plus 4. I am simplifying here, so I am going to start with multiplying. So let's do that. I'm going to do 7 times h and 7 times -4, right? Multiplication passes out to everything in the grouping. But make sure you stop there because that's where the parentheses stop. So 7 times h is 7h. And 7 times -4 or -4 is -28. Now I still have the plus 4 from above that I haven't dealt with. And I still have the equals and the 11. Now why I wanted to do this example with you is because there's no guarantee that I simplify once and the left or the right-hand side is as simple as it's going to get. You can see in this example, it's not just the multiplication that I could do. Now that I've multiplied it out, I have some like terms. I have a constant term, -28 or -28, and another constant term, +4 or +4. I can add and subtract plain old numbers, constants, all I want. They're on the same side, so I just do it following those same symbols. So can do it in your calculator if you want to, but don't forget the negative in front of the 28. It belongs to the 28. So -28 plus 4 gives me -24. So that was -28 plus 4. So I used that piece up. I made it simpler, but I still have the 7h. Make sure it drops. And that's going to be equivalent to that right-hand side that I'm not simplifying. And now 7h minus 24. Those are not like terms. I can't do that subtraction. I'm done on that side. It's time to start solving, working to get the letter alone. And this is one of the reasons this gets tricky, because when I was simplifying the left-hand side, I followed the order of operations, that GEMMA, right? But now that I'm about to start solving, it's time to go backwards. I just met an instructor a couple days ago who told me, she says, "Meg," instead of GEMMA, go backwards and do a little Meg, meaning start with the addition subtraction. So I will do that. I will move what is minusing that, subtract 24. By doing the opposite, I will add 24. And I'm a mathematician. I'm obsessed with equality, and so are you now. And so I'm going to add the 24 on the other side as well. So subtracting 24 and adding 24 cancel, they zero out. This is 7h plus nothing more. And that's going to be equivalent to whatever I get on the right-hand side. 11 plus 24 is 35. Not done yet. H is not alone. Let's move that 7. It's multiplying, so I'll do the opposite. I'll divide it away. I can do whatever I want as long as I keep those two sides equal. You're obsessed with equality. I'm obsessed with quality. That's how mathematicians are. Multiply by 7, divide by 7. Those are opposites. They cancel. H is alone just like I wanted. And 35 divided by 7 is 5. And now it's solved. H is alone. Wonderful. Simplify before you solve. Simplify thoroughly. Let's look at another example here. All right. Line through the equal sign so I can clearly see. And we have 3 times the quantity of 2k plus 1. I say times the quantity because 3 is multiplying by that whole grouping. Plus 5k is equal to 14. So once again, there's some math I see, there's some symbols I see that I can obey, so why don't I do it and make this sucker simpler? I'm going to distribute this 3. I'm going to multiply it through to every term in the grouping. So 3 times 2k is 6k, and 3 times +1 is +3, And now stop the multiplication because the grouping stopped, but don't forget to keep your plus 5k. We might not have used it on that line, but we are going to use it. And it's going to be equivalent to, well, there's nothing to do on the right, 14. And once again, I can see that there's more simplifying I can do before I start solving. This time it's not constant terms, it's k terms. But here's a 6k, and here's a positive 5k or a plus 5k. Those are like terms. I can just go ahead and combine them. They're on the same side of the equal sign, so I just obey the symbols, okay? Obey the symbols when you're on the same side. Disobey the symbols to jump to the other side. So 6 plus 5, I don't know why I picked up my calculator. I'm apparently struggling today. But 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 what? Well, I'm adding and subtracting k's, so 11 k's. So I put this and this together, made that a little simpler, but I still have my plus 3 I haven't dealt with. And that's going to be equivalent to, well, again, there's nothing to do on the right-hand side. And now I'm out of simplifying. I can't simplify 11k plus 3 anymore, right? They're not like terms. I can't combine them. So now it's time to start solving, to work backwards, moving all those numbers across the equal sign in order to get k alone. And again, when I'm solving, that's when I do the order of operations backwards. Let's start with anything adding or subtracting with k. So I'll get rid of that plus 3 by subtracting 3. I'm obsessed with equality, so I'll do the same thing to the other side. And let's see what happens. Adding 3 and subtracting 3 are opposites. They cancel out. I've got just 11k on the left-hand side, and that's going to be equivalent to whatever I get on the right-hand side. Well, 14 minus 3 is 11. And we have this equation, 11k is equal to 11. K is not alone yet. It's got this 11 multiplying, so I'll do the opposite. I'll divide away 11. I can do whatever I want as long as I do it to both sides. I'm obsessed with equality. You're obsessed with equality. Math. We should get t-shirts made. Mathematicians are obsessed with equality. All right, multiplying and dividing by 11 cancel. They're opposites. And so I just have a single solitary k. And 11 divided by 11, of course, is 1. And now the letter is alone. K is equal to 1. So did this get a little trickier? Are there more lines? Yes. But here's what you need to walk away with, okay? Simplify before you solve. Okay? Simplifying is obeying the operations on one side. Solving is disobeying the operations on both sides. And again, it's not only that that's opposites, it's the order of operations. When simplifying, we work our gemma forwards. And when solving, we work it backwards. As that teacher said, we meg instead of gemma. All right, you guys, a lot to remember, I know. And that's why I always compare solving multi-step equations with driving a car. The first time you go out on the freeway, it's scary. You know, you're putting together a lot of skills. But nowadays, if you drive for a while, you know, you're over here not even looking when you should be looking. You're answering your cell phone when you're going to, you're going to get a ticket. You're putting on your mascara and eating a banana. Well, some of you guys don't put on mascara. That's cool. But the point being, eventually it does become second nature. So let's just keep practicing these until we're fluent with all these steps. Don't panic that it's tricky at first. I swear it gets easier. And I'm super proud of you for engaging in this struggle with me. Happy learning.